TikTok is useful for, oh, that's cool. Not useful for much more outside of gimmicks. Gimmicks are nice. And Depp picking up the op is not super uncommon. Look actually at the position of Sugar Zero. He's got stars spread really wide, and that's an anti-KO setup. Sadak, who's sitting A main, they've used it every time, instantly towards A main. This time it's a lot more quiet.
Once again, very similar to what we've seen in the last couple of rounds. Last playing really far back. Seems like it's all about timings for Loud so far. You hear that no command come through, Depp smoked off and decides to push forward. What a lunatic. He's got the dash proc. Here's one go through, swings out, oh, and it just narrowly misses. Brushes the shoulder, but Depp doesn't miss twice. Numbers in favor of Zeta. For now. Loud looking to equalize the matter. Aspas left in this 1v3. Laz has ultimate, no armor to his name. Weak help. The spike's so far away, though.
30 seconds left.
How the heck does Aspas do this? There's certainly no way.
Just waiting. Reminiscent of pistol round, waiting for him to pick up the spike, but they're getting too far away. He might get Laz. And
he's gotten him to at least 1v1. But 10 wins the second. Zeta hits 6. Swings out, oh, and it just narrowly
lead
misses.
right now, potentially. They have the opportunity to win the half when there were
weaker side.
And there were many doubters specifically about that exactly.
Mainly Josh.
This could be a really good game so far from Zeta Division. Already above their averages. Already you're seeing players who needed to step up on LAN doing just that. But most importantly, the team play and prep is already there.
No extra oomph behind this punch for Loud. Just that ultimate from Pancata that we mentioned in the previous round. No Hunter's Fury, no command, nothing. Oh my gosh. And no Aspas either. Can he find a second? Death on top. Ooh, that's a lot of damage.
And without Aspas, that's a huge thing for Loud. They rely on him so much for entry picks.
Look at the pivot. Previously it was Les who was running back in spawn, making sure the flank wasn't coming through. This time it's Pancata, but it's because of his ult. He should be able to, if they take B, he should be able to get over there quickly.
Again, predictable.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks finally like Sadak wants to
Let's
poke
go.
Jose, and they hit B. But look, there's still mollies, and there's still even Crow's fade utility here. So while this fake might be the first time it actually works out, never mind. There's no follow-up.
Yeah. And there's nothing behind the punch.
Seize is perfect, too.
Ult comes through. Bless swings out. Can they find anything? Oh, of course, there's a judge in the hand of Blaz. Excuse me. Saucy trying to spam through the smoke, see if he can get a free one of his own. He's going to push forward. He's not going to find anyone back there.
And it's important here. They can't pivot anymore now that they lost Pancata.
Yeah. Note here, keep a third eye on Sugar Zero. He's going to be the late flank, working his way through mid, and they've got them boxed in right now. There's no time to go anywhere else. They have nowhere that they can go, and they just get destroyed. A 7-5 half for Zeta.
Winning the half is massive here. Again, the weaker side, and they pull it off.
Excellent start out from Zeta. We'll see what the Death thinks about that first half. GB?
I should probably place some pads in the astral.
Well, there is one thing that you guys did say. Sideshow did not believe in Zeta whatsoever.
He never does.
Truly an awful person. Sideshow, your thoughts?
Why is this always the narrative?
I don't make the rules.
No, they did play quite well actually. I thought that Zeta had a nice adaptation, and specifically a couple of the players that we were looking at.
Yeah.
You know, Depp performing well, and less on the other side too for Loud. Having a good performance here gives you an idea that the individual performances, the players you're looking at that didn't go crazy, Copenhagen or Reykjavik, are actually turning up.
Yeah, now he's back on that comfort, playing the Killjoy. He's freed up to really slow down the game and playing the lurks. Lado's playing a super execution-heavy style, so having him in play, having him to kind of come through in the late rounds and save those posts when Zeta's playing that heavy retake is super pivotal.
Yeah, however, I feel like Zeta Division did a great job of reading the style that Loud play on a set. It's very execute-heavy. The whole server felt like a retake simulator.
Yeah,
Loud just sent 5 or 4 people
no
towards the
mid-rounds
site.
here at all.
No mid-rounding whatsoever. Now, this pistol round, I think, was gorgeous. It's one that a lot of other people are starting to use with the fade horns, and Depp getting online. I think they definitely need another one of these heading into the next half and just secure it out. This would be such a blow for Loud losing a Send.
Yeah, it really would be, and I think the momentum they managed to build off of this round was really nice. It's just that kind of vote of confidence off the start for this Japanese squad. They're showing us that they can kind of have that slower style, that they can have those preset plans, but they can also change up on the fly. We were worried about those retakes. They showed us that they can do it. Now on the attack, we get to see what they've prepped up in those executes. Loud, though, they are a very strong defensive team, and especially with Aspas on that jet, fighting for that extremity control really often with his two initiators, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, you're really looking at Aspas, Sadhak going aggressive on defense here. Loud still have a great shot on this map.
All right, well, it's still anyone's ball game here. Let's send it back over to the casters.
Thank you, GBS. A very close affair between Zeta and Loud. A narrow lead, but as they were mentioning, there's really no telling what happens on the other side of the proverbial ball.
Yeah, and it is only one half, so this trend of us already leaning into Zeta, or to Josh, who's hating on Zeta, I think is a little early because, like everybody said, so much to play. And Loud, too, you just saw such a good defensive team.
He does make it easy.
I mean,
He does make it easy. Zeta exploring the middle of the map here, at least Step is. Got a little bit of help with Crow close behind.
and if we didn't see much mid-rounding on the first half, we're going to see a lot. This is Zeta's bread and butter.
I mean, the two stories could not be more different. Heavy execute out from Loud. Zeta burn the clock down. They're so methodical. They're so patient.
Look at the setup, though, here on Cat. Kata's on Tree. He could easily get some spam shots with a dart from Saucy.
And you see the setup. The smoke, the haunt, the dash.
Oh, they're so low already.
Whoa! Where did Saucy hit that from?
He's in Tree right now. And it's just great runouts.
Step just narrowly missing the timing there. Sidestep, Frenzy not going to land. And look at him playing into smoke.
They're double swinging this, though.
Oh, Sugar Zero's been so good in these spots!
Oh.
But is there a trade? No, there's not a trade! How is it not traded out? The pistol goes in favor of Loud.
And Josh said how important it is for them to win that pistol. You saw the very, very well-rehearsed pistol round from Zeta Division inside of A main, and they're not that good at converting them. They sit around slightly above 50%. Loud, on the other hand, fantastic. Most of their stats regional. But that was huge. Remember, so much the crucial rounds. I think he also
May have done some slash into another, yeah.
really nice.
Vamos, caralho! O piso é nosso, velho! Vamos, porra! Amassar as defesas agora!
Smiles all around for Loud. Again, just the first round in the second half, but statistically, this is their sweet spot. They're very comfortable here.
Don't forget the one thrifty round so far that's been had in this game. One in the favor of Zeta. Loud grouping a lot here in mid. They're much more dynamic so far, but the push is coming in towards Pankata instead.
There's so much utility here too for Glass, and there it is. The first nano goes through. You've got a Paranoia out from Pankata. And now you've heard that the Glass gets breaking out. There's a Paranoia. Hot not spotting anything. They've been so well concealed, and they're dealing all sorts of damage.
Spike down A.
Deb gets 2, which is honestly more than I expected with that Sheriff. And that's all he's good for. Pankata gets a third on the round. Loud's highest up at 7.
Really, really good hold as they come stomping down Cat. And the split really, really nice. Pankata unless you could see the 2-man unit that they were running with. Wow, the rest of the team was just working inside of middle, kind of seeing which side Zeta Division was going to poke at the beginning of the round. And so they're fast on the rotate too, but they didn't even need it.
There may be something fast set up here defensively from Loud. Look at how far up they're postured, both in B main and mid.
And Aspas does have that Vandal.
And look at the pings on the map,
Here it
yeah.
comes.
There it is. There's the dart, the Paranoia, but the Paranoia doesn't tag. They've invested so much just to see if there's nobody there.
Yeah,
and
but
now you see the early rotates.
Look at the difference. We saw this exact situation happen on the bonus on the first half. The Zeta Division did not get any kills. They didn't stay, and they're worried about going into A main. And it's coming so late while Loud is here already.
Dev goes forward. He's been isolated. He's got the Haunt over shoulder to make sure that there's no one there with him. 10 drops. That was the cover on the flank. Now they're going to have to worry about that as well.
They do hear it. Sugar Zero's already getting in position to fight it, but it's all okay. He's going to continue to flank, though, and that could be massive.
Does he wrap all the way around? Still has 1 SAR left to work with, and yep, he's creeping forward. Time ticking away as Zeta hang on as best as they can to control of this site. And again, the timing is everything here. Tucks under hell, Dart not spotting anything, but they find the kills that they need.
Come out.
Gotta go fast too, there it is. The defuse pause for now, 3v2. They've got the smoke to provide some cover. It's a massive kill up for Sugar Zero. He's not able to find anything else at all. Zone to Crow, he's healthy. And my goodness, Saucy's not. They haven't even gotten it to half. He's gonna have to stick it, he's gonna have to hold it. He gets one kill, but the trade comes through. Half saves the day for Loud.
They instantly swap there too on the diffuser.
So clean.
Last full HP to take the fight. Saucy, very low. Well played from Loud on the shark attack, and they convert the bonus. The difference could have been made just then in this game, in this first map. Good composure from Loud in the situations that they need. Sugar Zero had a chance to potentially do a little bit more, but also Loud worried about that. As soon as it comes out, they're off the defuse. They have to make sure that they get that kill down. And let's see again, Sadak wants to get inside of B main. They're doing a great job with the extremity control. Actually have both sides, A main and B main right now.
Just funnel them to mid, and you already see the rotations from out. Look at where they're facing on the minimap. The drone, 3 people close by to challenge. You've also got mid that's being taken away as they're just flash is there. It's a very good flash. The Cloudburst provides some cover, and Saucy's there to save it again. Pat still has it. Oh, he had that dash ready to go. Blast swings out.
One enemy remaining.
Clean shots out from Saucy too. This was a light round for them, but either way, clean out from Loud.
Well, I mean, now they've got the lead in pretty comfortable as well. As a couple ults come up for Zeta, this one's crucial. They've got to reverse the trend right now where Loud is getting all the space early. It's something that has been, I think, certainly a pattern for Zeta, right? Where they give up a lot of space early, but then they're able to work back at it in such good fashion. I don't necessarily think they have the tools on this map specifically. I'm thinking back to the split games that they so commonly able to work those mid-rounds. So there might be another shark attack here. Yeah, they're just going for it again. Missed the flash.
Paranoid doesn't land, but the dart does. They know that 10-0 still gets a kill. Depth's there to give numbers back in favor of Zeta after the trade. Uh-oh. Sugar Zero, again, just on the other side of the smoke. Saucy going to score, and Sugar Zero had no idea, but the bullets don't land. May have gotten a bit more than they bargained for here as Loud are heavily outnumbered. They're going to have to pull off some sort of miracle, and perhaps the miracle comes in favor of Saucy, and now less! This was a 4v2 that they've snatched back.
Enemy remaining.
It's gotten down to a 1v1! Oh, now they've got the lockdown. He's got the spike is nowhere near him. He's gonna have to clear that out and make a play for that space.
Plenty of space, and he has smokes too. If Les commits all the way back into spawn, he can get smoked off, and yep, there it is. Les wants to fight it.
61
I
HP.
need to stop. Blocking vision.
Now down to 21. The swing is there. Les lands the shots. They were so outnumbered.
But they don't expect the Sova and the Killjoy to be following that after they win the fight against the Shark Attack. You 100% expect, yeah, Pancata, the Omen, the Jet, the KO are going to be aggressive, but when all those guys fall, and you see it's just Killjoy, and it's just Sova, there's no way those guys are pushing the follow-up. There's just no way. And also, you don't necessarily even expect that 2 rounds in a row. So final timeout used here. And I think Loud played that really well, but specifically Les too. You saw the way he repositioned after that smoke went down. Immediately he knows he can't be close to this yet, so he can't actually take this space. And he recognized the blunder from Sugar Zero.
Another timeout comes through, this time from Zeta. They have a lot of ultimates to work with here as we turn our attention to the next round, but the money's not in a great shape, Paula.
This is the type of moments that you consistently were asking at Ranking League. Do you believe in magic? Because they're going to have to pull out a 50-round win, I think.
Again, this will have to be their second.
Super low economy. But it's getting to the point where Loud has so much rope to work with. If they go up to 11, just 2 rounds needed.
For as much as we've talked about very quickly, Les and how he kind of struggled previously, and what's he going to do now? 21-8. Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
Those are the types of guys you want at the top of the scoreboard at the beginning of a tournament. You know Aspas is going to be consistent. He's picked up the op now too, so another thing for Zeta to have to deal with. 2 players, the Jet and the Killjoy, get knifed there. Not so much information given.
I wonder if they hold here and get 10 this orb and then just fully send everything to get into A.
Well, the re-exploration right now is giving up a lot of space. They might be able to get just completely past Sadak here.
Note that it's Crow who has the spike.
Oh, they just jumped. There was just noise there, so Sadak is instantly able to put down that nade.
Oh, and they push forward into it. Def and 10 have gotten through, but the rest of the team has to wait. They have to delay. Door down, the spam. So much for Sadak to have to deal with. Def taking a whole lot of damage. There's 100 Fury. Crow still hasn't got the spike down. Saucy finds one from across the way. Now the paranoia in the face of Def. He still gets one, but he gets traded out for it. Numbers heavily in favor of Loud, and it doesn't seem to be changing anytime soon.
And the Hunter's Fury shuts down the actual push too. Outside of main, the only hope they had was to get past Sadak fast enough. And that noise, a little bit of jump noise, just costed them an opportunity in that round, because there was no way after that.
The only other cue that they had was the Astra smoke, and even then, like, it could be from anywhere, yeah.
Here we go again.
Still 4 ultimates from Zeta, but this time with guns, this time with armor.
Yeah, and it looks like they want to be much faster here on the A main control. Actually challenging what Loud wants to do at the beginning of the round.
There it is, it's fast. All through, but it seems like they tempered things for just a moment. Knife causing some problems. Now the scams once again.
There's a hunt here for actually Depp to try to take advantage of, and he just missed it. Still, Nightfall available, Lockdown available, Cosmic Divide too.
Oh, the flank fight, and he goes into Astra form, and he misses the flank. They've gotten right past him.
The alarm bot's down too.
How have they missed this? They have no idea. Crow not realizing there's someone right behind him, and there it is.
But he doesn't know Sugar Zero too.
Flanker about to get flanked. Is the timing going to land their way? Zeta with almost nothing for numbers. Can Sugar Zero find something? He's just not gonna show up in time. Pass is weak, sure.
He didn't get half.
Yeah, he's pulled him off. Turret cleared out 58 HP. He has to push forward. He's gotten past the shot. The spam is there. A 1v1. Pass weak. Sugar Zero as well. The swing, the shots, and Sugar Zero with the Red Bull clutch.
What a play!
What
the mistake
a play!
to let the player through, but still comes through with the 1v3 at the final moment. And he's so decisive. This is why this guy turned so many heads when he made his international debut.
The op shot buzzes his ear.
That smoke went down in milliseconds after he got the first kill. And he was just pushing, just through the smoke. Gives him a gap to peek out. What a clutch.
Magic. 11-8 in favor of Loud. Still hanging on to that lead. But remember, this is Zeta slowly, they have shown a tendency to claw their way back into things. We'll see if they can do it again. Dash through with the Prowler in his face. And off of that, mid-control, a little bit towards Zeta.
But it is so difficult to break Loud. Look at how dynamic they are on this side compared to what we saw on the... Look, they're re-clearing B main again. They just fought a little bit in mid, helped Aspas get away, and now they're retaking the space. And they're never really fighting. They're always getting enough space that they can make the right reads. Like right now, they're rotating Sadak and Sasi all the way over towards A.
And if that's not enough, you have Les who's tucked in a ratty little corner. That's exactly where the spike is headed to. This setup could be disaster for Zeta. The Prowler's not going to reach. It doesn't even clear him. Do they swing him? Les, patient. Oh, he sees everything, but he gets nothing in shit exchange. Les so weak, and he falls. Numbers once again in favor of Loud. And both members of Zeta
30 seconds left.
right next to each other. Spam through the smoke. Sugar Zero gets across.
They got this crossfire right now.
Yeah, but Sugar Zero's so far away.
There's no way they know. Oh my goodness.
That shock dart.
One
Fancy
enemy
footwork keeps him
remaining.
alive. It comes into a 1v2. Zeta once again outnumbered, and this time there's nothing to it. Loud, map point.
And look at the money, Doug. There's nothing
it's
left.
bad.
There is nothing left. just a couple of ults. And that's not how you want to go into match point against Loud. Their conversions on these anti-ecos, they're solid, and we've seen it over and over so far. If he's able to get that kill, maybe there's a chance Crow. But there was just not enough support over towards Sugar Zero was trying to do, but also not enough time. Crow was pressured on two sides, on two fronts.
You see Loud already going for the jugular. The spam with the Odin, the op-looking cat. Manages to avoid the haunt. Takes the space right back. This buy is abysmal from Zeta.
Sugar Zero's catching on though. He's really trying to make sure Loud has to be holding these positions and reacting off the information they're giving them. Prior rounds, there was no information to be garnered from Loud, other than the lack of information. This time, they're showing something. They can't make the same reads, but they are walking still into the Killjoy setup.
Turret down.
It also doesn't look like there's a setup for a fake or anything. Maybe if Crow's on the other side with his Nightfall, you give him a little something to think about. But no, the Cosmic Divide, and there it is. Oh no, Saucy gets two right off the bat. Whatever's left behind that push has been neutered.
Flipping the map now, trying to make it all the way back towards Cat.
But they're so terrified of what's on the other side of the Cosmic Divide because they have no map control anywhere there. They have to burn their flashes. They have to shoulder peek through this.
Oh no.
Paranoia on the other side though. Cat is there, he's waiting. Laz, I believe, was hit. And ass pass from up top with the blades. 13 seconds left. Yep. It doesn't get much easier than that, dear friends. A 13-8 win to clean up map 1 for Loud.
And it's again them getting there in time. Really good second half from the way.
He showed his rifling was good, the aim was on point, and ultimately it was not enough. But as you were saying, Bala, the strength that Loud showed on Ascent, namely the side, that's terrifying.
Yeah, really nice from Loud. So we'll have to see. I mean, map 2 coming up, and it's going to be a banger, so don't go anywhere. We've got the desk coming up.
Aturan. GG. Oh. Ah. Great. Tanda. Tanda. Ada.
For Ospas, even though he was being shut down.
Yeah, well, you know, guys, we paid some bills earlier, but you know what I like to do more?
You want to pay some more bills?
Pay some more
There's
bills,
a lot of
baby.
Look at all these lights.
Before we get into map 2, it's time for some good old-fashioned shoulder creeping in our aim lab
wouldn't
shoot
call it
around.
that.
We're actually going to be sticking around with Crow. What do you mean? I think it's perfectly fine. Who doesn't like a good shoulder creep from time to time? Actually, I shouldn't have said that out loud. But it's perfectly fine. Also, what's that crosshair? God bless.
That is an amazing crosshair.
It's the waffle.
I used to rock the waffle myself. And
You do look like a waffle, so it actually works
How?
out very well.
in what way do I look like a
circular.
waffle? I mean, I've
Got it.
Waffles aren't circular, they're squares.
Oh,
Are you thinking of pancakes?
thinking
Jimmy?
of like
They're
a-
different
like a-
things.
like an
thinking
Eggo
of-
waffle.
You're thinking of eggs? You're,
You know?
you're losing it?
Yeah,
You're losing
no, I'm
over
thinking,
there?
you can have circular
Breakfast.
waffles. You don't have to have waffles be squares.
You're growing senile, old man. You're growing
Okay,
senile.
maybe I'm missing something here. I don't know. I've just lost my dang mind. We're gonna be jumping into our next map here in a moment. It's gonna be Fracture, and you know, looking forward here,
But like
right?
big.
We had mentioned in the pre-show of this one, Mimi, for Zeta. That win, if they got the Ascent win, oh boy, that was cherry on top. But we all were very realistic. That probably would not happen given how good Loud is on this map. But now this is where hopefully Zeta starts cooking.
Yeah, and taking a look at the Prime Gaming Agent select here, it seems like, at least in history, a very different
Fracture.
style of play on Fracture. It's the Astra Viper setup
Fracture.
that is normally being
Fracture.
rocked by Zeta Division,
Fracture.
but on the side of Loud, this map for them has oftentimes been defined by the Sage, by getting on that site and playing for those retakes, but
Okay.
immediately they're making some changes.
This is
They
different.
go over to the double controller fade race.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. This is the kind of style that we've seen FPX run with
Yeah.
when they had a lot of success playing at Copenhagen on Fracture.
That's
You're
it.
going to see one-ways in halls. You're going to see
Plus
Sassy
more
playing
cuddle.
actually aggressively on fade, which is a different style for him and something that might work a lot better.
Yeah, and for Pancata on this map, he's kind of able to be a second entry, a second dive, teleport in, help his team, and also have those paranoias. It's an extra element that can really help on this map. But for the side of Zeta Division here, their composition is also extremely different. They're
I
putting
like it.
depth on the neon here. They're looking to actually go into this double duelist composition that we've seen from EDG,
Alles
we've
Fracture.
seen from Paper Rec, and I actually really like it. Well, you see this, you think,
Neon,
oh, lots of duelists, that's
Combo,
probably not good in this meta, but it's
Breeze.
really the utility that matters. On the defense, the amount of trap plays you can do with that nade, with that stun, and on the attack, being able to attack kind of in these splits, or just together with those two dive duelists, is really potent.
However, this is going to require a lot of aggression coming out from
Yeah.
Zeta Division. And that, I think, is going to really stress test that trading that we were talking about. They've got to get behind Dep and get behind Ted and actually trade them out effectively. Otherwise, those duelists are not going to get the value.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
this-
they're going to be in sight and just get absolutely shut down right away, maybe.
Yes, but they do start on this defensive side, where on Fracture a lot of times the defenders will be setting the pace. I expect it with this double duelist composition. They want to go fast. They want to be controlling the pace with those opening gambits, and the onus is on Loud to shut that down.
Well, look, folks, I don't know a lot, clearly. Okay, and I don't know if this series is going to go to a third map. But what I do know is we have two good-looking dapper yappers standing by to call the action. It's Doug and Bala. What are your thoughts? This should be a good one.
Hey, you know, for someone who says he doesn't know very much, I think he's right about this one.
I
This
know.
is going to be a good one.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one, but I love Dapper Yapper. That is just such a good term.
Do we go into who's who?
No. We're both. Come on.
Oh, the
man.
Dapper and the Yapper.
We're both Dapper
Both of
Yappers,
us. Oh, okay.
I think. Anyways.
It's going to be a good one. We've got double duelists on the side of Zeta, a team that is known for being slower, maybe a bit more methodical.
Yep.
Josh is right. It's going to have to be go.
Yeah, and
Let's go.
it's all on Depp as well, who has played Neon for them in the past on different types of maps, but it's always been very hit or miss with him, and we'll have to see if he can actually have the slower button, the slower pace that you see from players like Victor, and not necessarily the let's go, 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 because I don't think Depp can pull off the style that players like Forsaken or Jing could.
Already heavy aggression towards B from the defending side. You've got the
Mm.
vintage setup at this point, and it nets them the kills that they're looking for. But
Ooh,
trades
not
back. Loud
we-
gets one with the
jo-
nade. 10 trades it back with a nade of his own.
We are 20 seconds in the round, and we're already at a 2v2, but look at the HP on Loud side. 13 for less, 28 for Sassy, full on the other sides.
I thought about trying to do math there. I'll just pass. There's like a rule. You don't do math on camera.
Uh-huh. Well, you're not on camera, so go ahead.
Oh, that's true.
No, go ahead.
84 HP.
Nice. Yes, correct.
Quiet round, down to a minute left in this, and for as much chaos as there was at the beginning of the round, it comes to a screeching halt.
problem here, though, is you actually have no clue what's happening on this defense. And also for the defense, I mean, there's just so many holes right now. They could be coming behind you if they walk through halls, because I don't think they can hear the door open. There's just so much time falling down right now. They have nothing to actually cover off the gaps unless they walk up tower.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're both here now. Both Zeta Division members are here.
They're going to go low. Laz holding the angle with the headhunter, and they're going to walk right into his crosshair.
Player
Les
standing.
trades it back, though. He's so
Spike
weak, man.
down,
13 HP. You see his knee. You see his elbow. Crow cleans him up. Pistol again in favor of Zeta.
The first pistol. Exactly the same story. That one was a really, again, a nice set piece, I think, right?
Yeah.
We saw the paper wreck strat on Ascent. This time we see basically every team, whoever runs Neon strat. Throw a fault line, throw a double stun. The nade was good, though, from 10-2. The reaction from Loud was just to face, which they had Pancata and Aspas out there, so maybe you want to definitely try to fight. But it's hard to get through that smoke that Sugar Zero's putting down.
See the Viper wall going up. Not nearly the same level of aggression. Slightly a bit more muted, but you even saw on the minimap, Zeta took the same level of space off of utility at the beginning of the round. They have full control of halls right now. It was off of Breach's utility. So you're going to see them try to set the pace, as Mimi was saying on the desk.
And there's nothing really to react here. Saucy thankfully does have underpass control, given the teammates up on top in Arcade. And Laz is completely isolated here. They're not really rotating off of the fact that, look at 10, he's literally wide swinging the south side. Finally they rotate, but it might already be too late because this Arcade push is so ready to pounce on Laz. Thankfully the TP is there.
Deb just on the other side of this wall. Note the gun difference here, and of course Deb running forward to get all sorts of kills. And Saucy's the only one left alive. He's still healthy, he's got a sheriff.
Ooh.
4 targets he can drop. He's taking care of one. Seems like he was trying to draw something around his head.
Yeah, not even close.
Not even close.
I do love what Depp did there, where Laz TPs and he pushes through the smoke off the TP. These are the types of timings that are not necessarily directly related, but look, instantly Depp's through the smoke, run spring. Really, really nice from him. Catches 2 players complete back turns because they're focused on the chamber who just TP'd away. Now I am curious here for Loud, how they're really going to condition the map, because this specific comp relies on conditioning certain areas of the map, making sure they're not pushing. And twice in a row now, they've lost the push fight. Ooh, what?
Standing on Amali. That's outrageous. And look at the pressure. They're pinching in from both sides of the map. They've gotten corralled. The only way is either through or you flip it to the southern side.
And then Les just walks up tree. Way too much pushing on this north side. Crow has to equalize, and that's a good start. Saucy's low. Pancata 2. Oh, the fade prowler. Again, good recognition of the timing. He equalizes, does exactly what he needs to.
They're aggressive in their swings. They're aggressive in their timings.
Laz could get caught here from Les.
Les might be the one who gets caught out. No, the duel goes in favor of him. And now 10 is left alone. He's still got a Spectre.
They just hurt him.
Going fast. Pancata cleans him up. Very much like we saw on Ascent. Zeta win the first 2, Lab respond.
Yeah, the problem there for 10 was he assumed that they're going to run after they kill Laz, given Laz's lackadaisically rotating. But they're super cautious. They don't actually know where he is. That was filthy.
Yeah, let's look at that again.
A really cool lineup, too, from Sadak.
And it's intended to deny that.
Yeah.
That exact play.
Yeah, well, you can't deny anything from Chamber.
Yeah.
He does what he wants.
That is true. Speaking of which, he does have an op this round. Light armor to work with. And he seems to be posted up towards B. He's been there a lot.
That's a good
And he's got the rendezvous close by and alarm bot to make sure no one pushes in as well.
And you keep mentioning the control that they're taking beginning of the map. This time it even nets Depp and Orb. And for the first time, we are seeing Saucy by himself clearing out Dish with a Prowler. But you've seen how Laz is willing to challenge that. I'm worried if he continues to want to do that solo.
Satchel clears out the alarm bot, understanding there's pressure on the other side of the map now, but he continues to push forward. He's He's got the rendezvous so well set up, though. Like, any pressure he feels, unless he just doesn't see it coming because they walk up behind him, he can get out towards safety.
He just gives up on that rendezvous, actually, because he feels unsafe. They did break that trip, so Les is aware of this fight coming through, but they've actually really controlled all of Southside right now in such a way that they could fight on both sides, both sites.
Face your fear!
The nade could really punish them here.
Nightfall, I don't believe, tagged anyone. Laz with a warning shot through the Viper wall. Haunt cleared out, and now a nade towards tower.
30 seconds
early.
left.
It actually is going to delay just a bit. Oh, he's been caught out. Sugar Zero had nowhere to go. 10 still trying to hold the angle. Laz over his shoulder providing cover.
It's all Les here. They have to come through tree and really reconnect with the site.
Depp playing just on the other side of smoke. 13 seconds left. The fast lane goes up. He's waiting for someone to challenge, and there they come. He's only able to get one. 8 seconds left, and I don't know that they're going to pull this off. They're not. Zeta with the 2-round lead.
It was already dire, but because of that smoke that they threw to try to execute, because they knew they had that south side, so they had to break down and cover up the tree. But that fades, and Depp throws a really interesting block. I mean, he literally split the two players.
Just more to deal with.
They've got to contain these less flanks. I think these are going to be the things that if they really want to rank, like get these rounds up, like they needed on a on that defensive side, they need to control that, right? Because he's constantly by himself, and he's constantly finding value on lurks.
Let's play.
Note 4 ultimates on the side of Zeta. You heard the first one come through. It's actually for less. It's Tour de Force Online. You see it on your screen there. Operator in the hands of Blast still. And this is very reminiscent to the previous round, Baller. Remember, they took dish control. The spike was still back in spawn. First kill goes in favor of Laz. They can take space on other side. They can rotate, right? They can pivot around like a pendulum and take that space with the spike in hand.
But it has been time ticking away in a couple of these rounds, too. Taking so long to actually bite back against Zeta, who has flipped it, right? They're consistently taking early pressure, early space.
Pancata stays A, the rest of the team towards B. Spike in hand, they continue to work forward. Sadak weak, Sugar Zero spotted, and Sadak dropped. There's just not much behind
One
this.
enemy remaining.
On the side of Loud, Aspas has the Sheriff. He's gotten one step closer to having the Showstopper online, but he falls. He'll have that on for the next round, though.
And an opportunity there for them. They wanted to just kind of dry walk up with a fully fueled Viper wall to give them all the time in the world to work those picks, but Sadak was first. He's low HP. Aspas full HP. It's interesting, too, because the desk just brought up the trade stats. Aspas is the guy who's most traded, and Sadak's the guy who trades the most. So just slightly flipping that, unfortunately. They're not able to get any value on the walk-up.
Loud call a timeout here, down 3 rounds. Note, as we think about this and kind of let this one simmer and get us all excited for the next round, there is a Viper Spit, there is a Showstopper, both online for Loud. A team that for this entire half, we haven't seen much fast. We haven't seen much go. It's been very patient. They have tools there to go explosive if they want to here.
I wonder how you're able to utilize those, though.
Yeah.
Given they don't have the Neon.
They don't have Breach.
They're using a Viper, right? You don't really have those tools except in halls, right? That's my only place that I really can see that viably working, at least on this A site. Like a sand push with a Prowler, those types of things to open the door for you.
Yeah.
And then the Viper pick can go down later. Out of tree, it's going to be very difficult, especially given Laz is peaking very early. And you kind of have to wait for Viper Wall to come up. And yeah, this is a very interesting thing to have in mind, right? 65% win rate when they switch to the next half. It was kind of the opposite on Ascent, right? Where Loud was the guys who were like, oh, for sure going to be good on that second half. But for us, I think we're all thinking the defensive win rates for Zeta, no matter what, have been weak. And if they're flipping that in this game, it's a good sign overall for the tournament, but also a massive win condition here.
It's interesting here. Crow holds his fault line, and they still have Paul's control. There's the Showstopper. The Paranoia is there too. The Showstopper goes wide, and Aspas falls. They also dropped the Orbital Strike. They invested so much to deny that control.
huge. Literally no space gained from As's boss's ult just then.
I mean, they're no closer than when they started the round.
And everything that was used didn't really find value. Det was just in that corner. He's been getting there consistently. So they gave up, making sure, okay, the fault line's gonna go out, the stun is going out, but they didn't really actually understand what was going on the other side of it, even though that's been happening probably 3 rounds by now.
Yeah. They still have that Viper's Pit in the hands of Sadak. You see him on your screen, no armor, 85 HP to work with. Top shot goes wide, Lesvin's that duel out. They're gonna push him to spawn. Les is pushing him to spawn. He spots them rotating in.
All 4 players here from Zeta have to come through this, right? It's covering, oh, not actually covering the side of Gen there. They find that gap.
Oh, and the kill goes down. There's the Rolling Thunder. It's gonna push him back, and they're gonna work outside of that, but Les goes untouched. Eventually falls. Numbers 2v2 here. Spike ticking away. 10 so weak, but Saucy finds a kill. 10's got to do it himself, and he's not able to. Loud get to 2. And it was plan B at the end of the day that worked out for him.
Yeah, they didn't need plan B at all on their attack side on Ascent.
Yeah.
Remember, it was just consistently going towards the same site that they wanted to go towards at the beginning of the round. Maybe a little bit of slow default at the beginning, but wherever they leaned, they went. This time, finally, you have a pivot that works. And I think there, Laz really wanted that kill. He knows, okay, I kind of cleared Arcade for a while here. There's not that same Viper wall that's going down. I think we're going to be safe on this side, given Aspas's ult through in halls. Another exploration, though. Again, 4 players here from Zeta.
Tef doesn't have his ult. It was used in the previous round. There's so much utility dumped into this hallway. A flash, Aspas has to back up. 10 with the showstopper, gets 2! And now the nade to potentially hit the 3rd! Saucy gets away. How the heck did he do that? The thing is, again, they find themselves in a position where they don't have very many options. You've got Laz on one side with the Tour de Force. You know you can't go A. Everyone's still there.
Brutality in that hallway.
And you couldn't see a dang thing.
Yeah.
And the thing is, now because of how long the round has gone on and the delay, Crow has his fault line again. There just isn't any cue for him to drop that off of.
Dude, they're so comfortable playing Laz, completely isolated on this B site.
Yeah.
Costed them last round, but look at what happens when you go to the other side.
Oh, 10 should have spotted that.
30
Yep, you see him
seconds left.
instantly rotate over Crow close by. The smoke's there.
This angle from Sugar02 can lock down the round. I think they want to save now.
Yeah.
So that smoke comes down, there's no way in. They don't have, I mean, they have a haunt. Maybe they can force their way through with that, but
I do think you're right. You see it on the HUD. The economy's not great
no.
for
10
Loud, right?
seconds
Like,
left.
Saucy's okay, sure, and Aspis maybe, but yeah, there isn't very much to go around.
Laz happy to fight right now as well. Tour de Force can expire.
Yeah.
So if you can get any of these guns down.
Here.
Yeah, just no challenge. But what a hold. Again, you see this, the fault line, the Roomba, even with the Prowler in his face, he drops that showstopper, goes forward. Honestly, I still don't know how he doesn't get a 3rd there. As Saucy's trying to jump across the spam and the nade.
Yeah, and you notice too that no player on Zeta was really hurt by any utility there, right? No, no blind players. The screens are all visible. On the flip side, it was not that same.
No.
Zasnon teleport's ready. We should do.
See how they choose to play this out again. The relay bolts down long, as we've seen a couple of times, but this time, look at how quickly Dep rotates off of that.
Yeah.
It's just the bluff that there's pressure going in. And this is going to be a really interesting position to see if they're ahead of them. But no, I think the Prowler down into Hall just cleared out any fake of attempt at pressure there. They can go into A, and it's going to be uncontested.
Yeah, because remember, you just mentioned they're flipping the map entirely. The 4 players that they're just playing 4-1 setups. This time over towards B, though. And Loud's had enough. With reading the fact that they're not in halls, that fault line that was coming down, the stun as well from Dep. That's not happening. There's got to be something else.
Yeah.
The only thing they've seen is Laz at Dish.
Your fear.
Good read here from Loud. And they'll get the sights. They'll force an abysmal retake percentage to be successful here from Zeta.
This may be one of their win conditions if they want to get back into this thing. It's so early, but they find themselves in a deficit, and it's going to be a straight up 5v5. Les Les, note, only has a headhunter. And that may be plenty, don't get me wrong, but it's something you gotta keep in mind. Look at him, he tries to get out. No, Les has already fallen, but Depp and 10 do too. A 3v3, the spike planted inside, trying to play around, and if it's not from one side, it's the other. Sugar Zero cleans him up. He's still so weak though. Playing on the other side of the smoke. A controller duel, keeping them at bay for now. The flash, the turn, and there's the kill. Sugar Zero gets a third on the round. Can Saucy hold them back? No. Laz gets the kill, the defuse is gonna come through as well.
Again, the pace of these retakes from Zeta. We saw it on Ascent. They just want to get in and find any sort of picks. And the great thing is they come out with 3 players alive to take that 3v3. But this, he was actually blind the second before, gets the spam down too. And the flash is so good from Crow.
They're feeling good after the disastrous second half in Ascent. The vibes are still good.
Of course. Nothing can stop the nice.
4-round lead here. Buy not great for Loud. They want to go towards B.
This is the same look we saw the last time they had that eco round. Just walk up arcade.
Yeah, not the same look from Zeta here. Remember, you mentioned it. It's primarily just been Laz. Oh boy, that's not the start they were looking for. Sugar Zero able to get one back.
Oh, spam.
Yep, tries to stay alive. If they go into tower, they're going to have to deal with Depp. And again, this was where they made a meal of the opposition. Last time we saw them on the international stage, Depp not challenged this time at all.
Just avoiding halls.
How do you take this back? You have a judge and you have an op.
Let Laz work. Challenge while the op shots are going off. Has to go through.
He's gonna get
Oh
challenged.
wait, they're challenging.
Player standing.
Thankfully they trade, so Loud still has
Oh
this.
my gosh.
He has a judge.
How the heck? Yeah, Sada can't close the gap, and the Headhunter does it for Laz.
Are you kidding me? They challenge halls at the last second, and the best part about that from Zeta, Depp didn't show himself at all that entire time. So they think, okay, if there's nobody peeking yet, surely.
For the judge, at the end of the day, to be the deciding factor in this Red Bull clutch is outrageous. He gets the opening kill, and then Sonic switches to it, and you're not going to hit that from that far away. I mean, what are you going to do?
I mean, he has to use the sheriff to keep on this around. He's like, yeah, let me just toss this down. Which, a little bit of mind games there could have really, really won, because you expect him to play a little slower.
That's such a massive boon in momentum for Zeta.
Well,
That's the kind of round that can flip things.
yeah, but remember, they had pistols in that round. Wait, fast north side pinch, and the first point of contact has lost for Zeta. What is this? He almost pushed way past that wall. Sugar Zero.
He thought about it. Meanwhile, Les is just going to take as much space as
timing.
towards
Oh, the
B.
timing.
Timing not great, but there's an alarm bot there. Still on the well, there was. That gets cleared out. Les backs up. Trying to go towards A here. Laz still has that up, and oh, he's going to get smoked off. But Deb down low. Prowler doesn't hit him. Oh, and the orbital strike. Does Deb hold it? He swings out, and he falls. Aspas goes past the fire that's raining down from the heavens, and that's all he's able to get. But once again, the kill is traded back and forth, and Laz finds himself alone, trying to save whatever he can. And the challenge just on the other side of the wall. The elbow betrays him as Laz falls.
That looked like it could have gone terribly for Loud. But Depp just tried to hide inside of that orbital strike, swing out against Aspas after the push came out on top of him.
Which is bold.
Very.
Very bold.
Very bold.
He's sat there a long time, too.
Well, the interesting thing is Aspas was not worried at all about the actual site, right? He cleared the top of it, obviously with his vision as he's satcheling, but didn't really pay attention to the bottom side. And again, Les coming through with that late flank ends up really punishing. I think Laz comes through when he comes through the door. There's so much there that they have to be concerned about. They haven't really addressed it just yet.
Well, I think Louder's starting to get a really good read on what Zeta are trying to do here. They had so much dish control, yeah, that they knew that there was pressure coming into
Sorry
Less,
doang,
and
bisa
Les, they
kena.
just walk right into Les's lap, but 10 trades him out. See the Viper spit go away?
Oh, this is so
It's a
interesting.
fake, and they're gonna bite.
Laz biting here is definitely a problem for them. Oh, the trademark.
It really seems like Loud have gotten to beat on this situation here. The paranoia out, it's just
What?
and of course,
Wait.
that's, again, is enough. Saucy looking to plant, trusting Pancada to cover him. Now note, Saucy has that Nightfall. And they've all retreated to tower. They've all retreated to the northern side of the map. Sadak smoked off.
They have much more control than it appears right now, Zeta.
Face your fear!
There's a Nightfall. They've got him. The Prowler, is he going to hold it to half? He might stick it all the way because you've got Crow as the defensive line, but no, Sadak trades it out. He gets the second two. Sugar Zero going to have to do it himself. Surrounded on both sides, and he's not able to isolate that 1v1 at the end and get the
Ter
kills.
banget cok ini cok.
What a
Masang
round
ulti di A.
for Loud to win. Laz tried to
Larinya
bring it
ke
back
B.
within his grasp, but
Anjing.
at that point, Loud gets back on the site. That fake worked really well.
And you can see it unfold at the very beginning of the round.
You mentioned how Loud looks to have the beat on the situation. The thing is, Zeta's only shown 2 looks, really, right? They're
Sure,
playing the 4-1 on one side, or they're playing the 1-4.
Yeah.
And consistently, it's Depp throwing out both the stun from him and then Crow with the fault line too. And again, it's just this time not going halls. Oh, Laz got the tour de force.
And there are 5, literally everyone is on the other side of this wall. The Prowler, how patient are they? And he's gonna hold the angle. The second Prowler, the paranoia. Surely you don't overstay your welcome this much, do you?
Ooh.
How? One tap with the judge.
Of course.
Ooh, god
And now
damn.
still in tow, but Deb goes aggressive. Sadak able to trade it out. Once again, the line is Sadak. He's got 3 on the round. How much more is there? Saucy and Les, can they get this thing back? They've got the spike, and once again, it looks like it's going to be a fake. Les, draw attention, draw pressure. Maybe Saucy flips it. And as we've seen time after time in this map, in this series, things go very fast, and then the silence just deafening. As no one wants to move an inch. No one wants to make a single footstep.
30 seconds left.
And there it is. That's the cue. Sugar
Yeah,
Zero
man.
attempted to swing off of that, and well, for good reason. Not a lot of time left. The jiggle. There it is. You
Ah,
spot him.
Zubar.
Challenges again, and this time Les wins it out. And they know where
Woohoo!
too clean at the end out from Loud.
Just the pivot. We didn't see much mid-rounding, but that one, that round specifically and the round prior, they brought this back to an even game.
3 rounds to clean out the half. We mentioned it. It felt like they were starting to get a good idea of what was going on, and they respond gorgeously.
It's awesome to see King of Chamber, King of Judges, back at it again to Laz. He already used the shorty in the round, by the way. Those were not able to reload it, and he pulls out the judge.
What a half. What a response out from Loud. Zeta's still with the lead. We'll throw it down to the desk.
There.
It was an exquisite start there for the Japanese team, but Loud managed to bounce back big time here in the half. Mimi, super impressive stuff there from Loud. I mean, even though that last round in Laz, what a play that was, still, they managed to find those wins where they can.
Again, it feels like shades of map number 1, where we come out, Zeta's looking incredible. They have a great understanding of how they want to play the map. And then as we get a little bit later into things, they pull off some of these massive rounds to recover. They figured out the setup that Zeta kept showing and got enough rounds to maybe make something of the second half.
It definitely felt like at the beginning, this was even more one-sided, the head-to-head between Ten and Aspas. Ten playing very defensively with the Rays, using his utility to punish the aggression, and Aspas felt like he was driving his head into a brick wall over and over and over again. And yet, the later you got, the more you started to see them figure this out. And I think on the other side of things as well, once you start to get Ten on the attacking half, you know, Aspas will be the one then taking better duels where he's able to defend, but he has 2 people to defend against. It's not just 10 there, it's 10 and Death.
Yeah, and talk of 2 people, it will be that kind of double entry duo, and we already got to see some of that in the first half. This pistol round was absolute insanity out of Zeta. Both that Neon and the Rays running all the way in, a smoke to follow it up. The util coordination between those two really adds a lot to this map. I think for those trap plays, as well as for those forward executes, this comp works superbly. But in the second half now, it's going to be them working in conjunction. And we saw in some of those retakes how Zeta was struggling to play out that trade game. It's so important now that they're heading to their attack.
Yeah, they're going to have to figure out how they want to try and approach this. But from what we've seen, Sideshow, I'm feeling pretty good for Zeta here. I actually do think that we could be going to a map 3 with how things have played out so far.
They've definitely adjusted their style. They used to play shorties in tower, the judge all over the place. We've seen that from them, but we've also seen an aggressive side to the game that didn't appear to be there before. And if they can do that on the defense, I think that they should be able to pull it out here on attack too.
Yeah, well, here we go, guys. The pressure is on for Zeta. They got to force this game 3. Can they do it in this half? Let's send it back over to Doug and Bala.
Bala, as much as this may look like the exact same picture we just saw, history suggests that it's not going to end the same. Again, Zeta leaning into their strengths here on the attacking half.
Yeah, it's really interesting, actually. The fact that we look at this comp now and we look at it on the attack. How is it going to work, right? We've actually seen a little bit of this from Edward Gaming. But the thing is, you have to be fast because you run out of this bursty style really, really, really quickly. If you don't get something going beginning, then it's going to hurt, right? You only have the 3 Brimstokes and that neon wall. You have to get your duelist in. A complete shift in styles.
Much like we saw in the first half, this time it's Slash who's here by himself, and there's a vintage take that we've seen so many times. But patience out from him as he holds his position. He's overstayed his welcome. Sugar Zero gets the spike down. And now you've got to deal with the flank, and it's a 3-man flank at that too. And because of that, they can't just afford to leave one person there. You see all of the attention of Zeta turning to the southern side of the map, and the timing's not great! The timing's abysmal! Grow not able to get anything, 10 not either! They've taken that space right back. Laz holding this angle. Pancada's so weak, and he knows they're there. He's spotted ahead. He's able to get away. How much space can Sugar Zero find as he's the one who's going on a crazy flank, but Tassi's just going to hold the defuse. He's going to get it himself. Loud with the second pistol.
They were forced into tree to try to fight the challenge on the backside. But that one hurts because they got the entry. And Crow was here. They had a crossfire set up. It's just not really finding the value. I mean, you can see it right there. The insta swing from the player's tree. Crow's just not ready. And then the problem after that is they have already the smoke's falling. Remember what I said, you have to get in the site. You have to really get positioned inside of the site too. The smokes fell and they had no cover when they were falling out of tree, when they realized that that tree push was going to be powerful and they couldn't fight it.
No force out from Zeta here. They're opting to just go with the pistols that they have. And with that comes patience. Perhaps the testing of the waters towards B. They've got 4 that way. Fault line to try to clear things out, but the line from Sadak, excellent delay. Interesting too to see how they prioritize where the orb is going. But they have let one slip past. 10 has gotten through. Again, mind you, he doesn't have, all he has is a sheriff, but he could cause problems here if they establish enough control on this side of the map.
Yeah, if Les wants to reposition into tower, which I don't think he will. He wants to stay on his anchor.
Oh, they know.
They're so aware.
Yeah, they know they've lost it. A second flash. Les has to look away. There was the real threat. 10 falls. Sugar Zero does 2. Pro should follow. Yeah, this was a difficult situation to begin with. And the window to convert was, I mean, minuscule.
Yeah, 30 seconds still here. Laz gets 1, but it is, the window's gone.
Yeah.
You're right. It's just gone. And I'm concerned here because we might have seen, you know, stats that showed that Zeta's very good on attack on this map, but this is an entirely different comp. 14 seconds left, still 1v3, no chance to plant the spike. It's an entirely different comp, right? And the strengths of this comp are the bursty style of it, with Depp playing the Neon, and again, what you have for tools to follow up on anything.
Right. Flash is clear the way. Yeah.
You actually had Laz lurking on the entire other side of the map at that point, right? Where they're actually already pushing on the site. I don't necessarily see that they're leaning into those strengths just yet.
We'll see if they do it here, as this is a gun round for them. 2 people in light armor. But you're right, this is where you expect, okay, what's this composition built for? It's built to go fast, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be the case here.
Don't forget on Ascent, only 1 round won from Zeta
And
when
what
they
a-
flipped to attack.
And what a frickin' miracle that was.
That's true too.
That took every bit of like lucky juice that they had. Les already tagged up. They have a good idea of where they're coming from, and he just stays so late.
I kind of like that too from Depp to not even challenge, knowing he's going to TP eventually.
Just bullies him out of the way. Okay,
I
yep,
mean, come on now.
sure. And now the nade keeps him back. Crow gets the spike down. Depp looking to push forward. The paranoia is there, and he just, Sadak never hit the ground.
There.
His body did.
Yeah. He's got a Bulldog, you've got a Spectre, and then you have a Sheriff. So you have some tools to work with here. They're both going to be coming down from the drop.
1 enemy
And
remaining.
they're really just like that. It's extinguished. Aspas flirting with death. Trying to deliver a bit of his own. Still has Mutil, understanding the challenge is inevitable. And he takes one with him, but just traded out.
But Zeta do what they weren't able to do in the prior map, right? Win the anti-bonus. Force Loud to be in an economic disadvantage. Not disadvantage, but not gain momentum.
Sure, yeah.
Right. So they'll hold on to the lead just slightly. But again, that time, Loud didn't really have the tools to stop any of that pressure that was going on. Les didn't have all he had was his headhunter.
And if you're Loud here, knowing that you won 5 rounds in a row before that one, going back into the first half, you expect that round to go their way. Obviously, if they win it out, it's great.
Sure.
But I don't think they shouldn't be feeling any worse about the situation.
Traditional one-way control in halls from Loud with his comp. And it's the Viper.
Ooh!
It's a good opener for Laz. And again, the hit, but take a look at Sadak. Sadak's playing with fire. He's so dangerous, and he goes forward, gets the kill onto Depp.
Where's the rest of the players? They don't get in the sight there. The Molly was so good, and they just don't try to challenge. It's a Molly and a Viper Orb, so yes, it's definitely going to do some damage, but nobody's there to help Depp.
And honestly, if not for Sadak swinging back into that, well, I mean, who expects a Viper there?
For sure, but he knows vulnerable players on the other side. It's a good play from Sadak.
Sure.
Problem here, Zeta, 1 smoke. 1 smoke left.
And dire straights here. Again, Laz trying to cause some noise towards B, and that he falls too. But you're starting to see some of the rotations go over, and just as quickly as that happens, Pancata swings back off of the Brimstone smokes that go down. Spike has not made his way out of hallway yet. They've been kept at bay, but they finally explode out, and they get the kills that they need to take control of the site. Sugar Zero with the plan. Aspas has arrived, though, with 30 HP, spamming into that smoke. And now you've got the Overstrike you're going to have to deal with, too. A 2v2 here. Sadak,
He spammed him through the
you
ult!
Sadak has his ult, too. If they really want to invest into this, they can secure it. It's going to have to be heroics from Sugar Zero yet again. Can he hold them back by himself? Oh, and if he isolates the gunfights, he's going to get what he's looking for. He's got it to 1v1, and Sadak saves the day. 4 on the round.
The IGL is a monster. He just dives through on that B execute, just shuts it down.
Freaking loony.
And then he stays strong in this one too, actually, as well. This kill on the Depp, okay, whatever. Stops the push, most importantly. Gets Laz, who's trying to flank, maybe make some space, but this right here.
Wow.
Sanda.
If they get that crossfire, that round plays entirely different, right? Sugar Zero has room to play.
Sanda.
Aspas doesn't get easy Hall's control.
Laz has his ult. They still have Sadak's Viper's Pit. Pancata is his ult as well.
You want to play? Let's play.
I hear that toward Force online. A little bit of push towards A. The Prowler keeps him back for now. And where do they go off of this? You see Depp starting to rotate back. Rendezvous with his team. You've got this one way that you mentioned in the previous round is so difficult to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, they're set up to nade, paranoia,
Or can you
Prowler push, right? As soon as there's anything, actually they're just going to go through it. That gives information. You saw how far away he was.
Yeah.
That sound of his Vandal. But they're not reacting exactly how I would expect off of that.
Another one-way dropped from Pancada.
They're being really slow on reclearing right now. They're worried about this dish. Zeta has a lot of space here in Arcade. There's only 2 players here, but Sadak is here still.
And he still has that Viper Spit. Hasn't used it yet. But surely at any sign of threat, goes down. There it is.
Let's can re-peek here in tower. He's there, challenging depth.
This section slash off. He's got to go forward if he wants to deal with this, or else this Viper Spit is going to continue to be a problem. Especially as the round goes on, reinforcements are going to arrive. Now you have the Nightfall you're going to have to deal with too. Laz out of the equation. Yeah, they got the spike down, but there's still so much room Loud can work within.
Dep going on the fast flank through underpass. He's going to try to pinch Sadak right now.
The Viper Spit has to be cleared out. And there it goes.
Drop.
They drop it, and Dep is there just in the nick of time. They weren't expecting for it to fall, and they still maintain control.
What a decision, too. He just lets it fall.
Yeah.
That gives him so much more room to actually get through. And don't forget, Spike was not inside of it. So eventually they're going to have to exit. Rather take it on their own terms, and they do. I mean, really nice stuff. It's a cool setup, too. Les, who's playing an off angle right behind that box inside of Arcade. Tower TP for him.
Oh,
And it's
galing.
set up so that he can maintain control of tower. Even though he dies there, for Sadak to have plenty of space to peek out of that pit, to hold on to the pit. All the different variables and variations are possible there. Look at the scoreline for him, 21 and 12.
He's leading from the front. Doug's far from done. Perfectly healthy.
Ooh.
Oh gosh, I thought he was going to hit that. Boy, that was close. Thing is, they haven't explored this